Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today's going to be a little bit different than usual. We're not actually working on anything of mine. We're going to be working on a transmission that I bought for Cody. So quick story on this. Cody's transmission was having some sort of bearing issue, and both me and him run the Mazda 6-speed Miata transmission. It's a very odd transmission that was only available as an option from I think it was 2000, 2001 till 2004. So they're relatively rare. They can get kind of expensive. The biggest thing is they're just really hard to find. If you really need one on a pinch, you're going to end up spending a boatload of money in order to get one. So we found one that was, up for a deal somewhat locally. So I ran out, went to go pick it up. The guy that bought it from said, pretty straightforward, that he had pulled it from his running car, wanted to go back to a 5-speed for whatever reason. I was like, okay, whatever, grabbed it, brought it home. When I got home, I went to go check it, and sure enough, the transmission only goes into 3rd gear and neutral. Won't go anywhere else. So there's something internal going on with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull apart and see if we can diagnose what's wrong with it, and if it's something relatively simple, maybe there's something we can do to fix it. But I guess there's no time like the present to go ahead and get started, so let's start tearing that thing apart. Bit of a side quest. So I got to a point yesterday where I couldn't go any farther because I needed like a puller tool, and I had to help Jared with something. So I went out and was working outside for a while, and it's gotten hot outside, and it was brutal. So I don't know how many of you guys know about this, but I've got this S13 that I use as a daily. It hasn't had AC, which hasn't been a big deal since it's been so cool out, but it's got a weird setup because it's got a CA18, which there's not a lot of parts in here in the US in general for these motors, especially AC stuff. So last year I went through this whole endeavor in order to get AC working on this car. I had to make a custom suction line, like the line that goes from there, you almost see it, kind of goes under the turbo all the way down to the compressor. That was a custom line I had made by a local company to get that to work. And I did all this stuff, got all the parts for it and everything, and then went to go do it, and the evap core got a leak. And I kind of just got frustrated and said, screw it. That's, a problem for future me. Well, it's gotten so dang hot out. Today, this is future me. This is future me now. It's pretty sick. So, I went ahead and pulled the evap core out of the car. And hopefully, I can put some pressure to it over here. The plan is to pull it out of the box, try to put some pressure to these 2 fittings, and see if I can find where it's leaking from. Ideally, if it's leaking from, it's on this side. Ideally, it's leaking from one of these compression fittings to this TXV. If it's not there and it's actually in the core, then I'll have to go buy another core. Unfortunately, they don't make these cores brand new anymore, so I'm gonna have to chance on a used one, but one of the used ones has got to work, right? So I guess let's go see if we can find this leak.
this is the janky setup I've gotten. So the suction side of it, I have this spare piece of hose that I had, put essentially an extension in there, so that should seal that up okay. And then on the liquid line side, just have another piece going to my little air chuck. So this should put enough pressure into here so that whatever's leaking should hiss or something. Then I should be able to more or less spray it with water and confirm. So if it's the core itself, then I know I need to get another core. But if it's just one of these fittings, I know that I wasted a bunch of time sweating my butt off over the last year instead of just tightening something up. So let's see if we can find anything. That scared the shit out of me. All right, I had to reevaluate the plan, take off one of the pieces, and just go directly in it. But I think I found the leak. Well, I found a leak. I just don't know where it is. All right, after a ton of searching, it is, all right, let me set up that, okay. Right, get it to focus at the tip of my little poker thing here. Yeah, right at the tip of this poker thing is a little black dot. That is our pinhole. Honestly, it almost looks like it's in a place that it could be patched. So I may ask Colton, since he's a lot more comfortable welding, and see if he would be okay with just like putting a little tack weld on that. Because if we can, then I don't have to go chance get another 30-year-old evap core. But, so, I don't know, maybe I'll hit him up and see what he says. If not, I'll just order another one. And then I guess I could just do the same test to make sure that it's not gonna be leaking before I go spend the time to put it in, get all the equipment to evac and charge it and everything just for it to leak again. So, I mean, hopefully we can figure that out. But it doesn't seem too terribly bad. But, I mean, as you can see, I've closed the door to the garage, and so it's like probably another 20 degrees cooler or 15 degrees cooler inside the garage than it is outside, and I'm still sweating my butt off. So yeah, the 240 is either going to get the AC fixed or getting parked for a couple months, which I like driving it, so I don't want to park it. So let's see what we can get figured out with this. All right, bit of an update. So I got some of this tank weld stuff that says it's good for, on the back it says radiators, so hopefully that'll work, because pretty much everybody that I talked to, they were concerned with how thin this metal is, so welding on it's probably not going to go very well. So I'm gonna do my best in order to clean this up, see if we can patch it, and if we can patch it, test it out, see if it works, and send it. If not, if that doesn't work, I'll go ahead and order another one of these. You know, my issue with just going ahead and getting another one is, you know, you can't buy them brand new anymore. Otherwise, that would be like the go-to. Like, even if they're pretty expensive, I'd just go ahead and buy a new one just to make sure I wouldn't have to worry about it. But they don't make them anymore, so that option's not there. I could get a part out one, but there's really no guarantee with the part out ones whether or not they are in good condition or not. A lot of these like tend to deteriorate quite a bit when they're left open, and most 240s are just kind of, I guess they just rip the AC systems out of them pretty quickly. So I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole unless I absolutely have to, because I never know if I'm going to buy one online if it's going to be good or not. And there's also the last thing, which is there's a model year difference between the early S13s and the later S13s that have a different suction line attachment size. And most of the evap cores I see listed online are actually listed for both ranges. So you have to do a whole lot of due diligence to make sure that I order the correct one from a legitimate part out person and all this nonsense. It's stuff I just don't want to deal with if I can avoid it. So this one I kind of know the condition of, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to repair it and see if I can throw it in, and if it works, it works. So let's give it the good old-fashioned try right here. See if we can get that little dot to seal up. Go team. Of truth. So this thing has been sitting for 4 hours, drying out. So I haven't really been down here at all. We'll give it the good old college try and see if it works. See if it's... Seems like it's holding. Seems to only be leaking around my sketchy fittings and the fact that I can't really hold it. So I think we're good. Let's I'm gonna put it all back together and then see if we can throw it back in the car. Alright guys, here's the moment of truth. I gotta put the gauges on it and the vacuum pump, and we'll see if it holds vacuum now. Hopefully it does. Alright, it seems to be holding a vacuum at this point, so we're gonna let it draw down for, I think it's like 20 minutes. I'll have to look it up, see how long I have to let it draw down for, and if it's still holding vacuum after it draws all the way down, we'll be able to fill it up with refrigerant, and then we'll have AC in the daily, which is good because it's like 93 out today and humid. It's rough out here, man. It's rough. All right, not my proudest moment, but I was charging it. You can see that is refrigerant. So the compressor started making a bunch of knocking sounds. I never quite made it to a full charge on it before it seemed like the compressor was locking up, and then I heard a really loud pop and it let out all the refrigerant that was in it. And it's still coming out. I'm not sure at this point if maybe the compressor let go or maybe it was one of the lines, but it's hard to see. But the my whole hot side on the turbo is wet, and behind there I would be really mad if it was this line, because this is that one custom line that I had made, but I kind of doubted at this point that's what caused it. I'm thinking that the compressor let go, which may be the end of my AC saga with this thing. So I'll keep digging and see what I can find. All right guys, now that that didn't go very well, let's see if we can continue on with Cody's transmission and see if that can go a little bit better for us. End this video here. I don't want this to drag on too long, but I double checked everything on the gear set and it seems to all be fine. Like, it's all working great. And so I guess at this point I'm just going to try to clean everything up and put it back together. So I guess look forward to that for the next video. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.